And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Nick, and we are ready to break down some Sunday baseball. And we also have a CFL game as well that we'll go over at the end. I picked 3 games for us to go over today, and then we'll spend a little bit more time, I guess, with last pitch going through the rest. But we'll jump right in here to the first game. Alcantara is pitching, so this game most likely is going to be on the card, and it is. Miami is in Pittsburgh for this one. Looking at the current numbers, you can find Miami anywhere from minus 161 to minus 175. Pittsburgh, you can get anywhere from plus 140 to plus 150. Plus 137 to plus 150. Mostly 7, some 7 and 7.5 split, depending on what total you like. I am on Miami first 5 minus a half, and I'm also on Alcantara over 6.5 strikeouts. In this one, Pittsburgh, the third highest strikeout team. Alcantara, double-digit strikeouts in 2 of his last 3 games. So I like this spot for him here. What I don't like is Miami's offense. So taking the first 5 minus a half, there's a bit of a risk to that with Miami, with their offense as of late. But I like that they're facing a righty. And yes, Keller has been not too bad as of late. But Alcantara is by far the better pitcher. And I could definitely see a 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 type first 5. With Miami squeaking out the first 5 run line. So I like the first 5 run line and Alcantara over 6.5 strikeouts, which I got for plus 110. And I want to talk anybody off about going further than that, 7.5 or 8.5 as well. But I just took the 6.5 at plus money. The thing about strikeout props, like yesterday, Max Meyer for Miami got hurt after 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Something happened and he got hurt, and my over 4.5 strikeout bet died because unfortunately he did play and he only got through like 2 of an inning. So not really the best results there, but hey, you can't handicap a pitcher getting hurt because you don't know that that's going to happen, and you can't not bet it because he might get hurt because that's not how you win money. So it is what it is, but I do like Miami today. Alcantara over 6.5 strikeouts in the first 5. Nick, Marlins Pirates, kind of a bum fight here. What do you think here?
Yeah, and if you're going back to that Max Meyer situation yesterday, if you're not betting player props because a player might get hurt, then congratulations, you're not going to have any plays ever because a player can always get hurt. But I give you a lot of credit for trusting this Marlins team to do anything offensively for a first 5 run line. They've put up 0. They put up that 1-8, which was surprising as all hell. 0, 0, 0, 1 in their last 6 games. They've put up at 1 or nothing in 5 of them. That's what ultimately kept me off the side in this one. Yes, I want to back Sandy Alcantara. No, I'm not laying minus 165 to do it. I'm on the first 5 under in this game. I'm expecting Sandy Alcantara to do what he normally does, and that's to go out and absolutely dominate. And on the other side, I think Mitch Keller can shut down this anemic offense of the Miami Marlins. So I actually got 4 on this last night. The first 5 under 4, I got at minus 125. That's now minus 165. Wow. It would have to be under the 3.5, which is minus 110 at this point. You can also look towards maybe taking the Pirates team total under a half a run at plus 190 for the first 5 innings. I would recommend. I wouldn't talk you off of that one as well. But for me in this one, I just got the first 5 under 4, expecting both pitchers to go out and shut down offenses that have not been hitting lately.
For sure. I was hoping maybe to get Pittsburgh first 5 team total under 1.5 at some kind of good price. Obviously, you won't. You can't. But I betting a first 5 or team total first 5 under a half is I've never done that. I don't know if I will because a little mistake could ruin that. That's like there's
One
no
swing can kill
error
that
at all with the under a half. I'd much rather the under 1.5.
Yes.
But yeah, obviously you won't get that in this matchup. But moving on along to the next game, the Blue Jays are in are in Boston for the final game of this 3-game series before the Blue Jays head home. Two great games so far following the All-Star break. Obviously, the record-breaking for them, franchise record-breaking game the day before last. And yesterday, still a good 4-1 win. So the offense obviously slowed down. I said on yesterday's show, they're not going to score 28 runs again.
What?
Yeah, and of course, that prediction came true. But they did win.
You really went out on a limb on that one, by the way.
Yes. I only give really long shot predictions. I don't give any.
Of course. You can't just call the obvious.
Yeah. So, but the Blue Jays got the job done. And now they are facing Boston once again for the 3rd game in this series. You can find Toronto anywhere from minus 155 to minus 160 or 172. Boston plus 130 to plus 143. You can find mostly 10.5s. I see 111 at FanDuel, but 10.5s mostly across the board here. Bet lines, there are certain games you have to bet the day before. There are a few bets that I placed yesterday, and this game is one of them because when you look at the pitching matchup for today, and you can see what Brian Bello has done in his 2 games against Tampa Bay, and that's been consistent, giving up 5 or 6 hits, 4 or 5 runs in 4 innings, 3 walks. So he's pretty much going to give up runs, going to give up some walks. And this Toronto team is not a team you want to do that to. So I knew that the lines would kind of move against me here. I did get Toronto minus 1.5 yesterday, plus 105. The best you can find it now is plus 100. And then I also got the first 5 minus a half yesterday at minus 110. And you can still find it for minus 110 at a couple books here in the first 5. And yeah, I think the Blue Jays come out here again and have another convincing win. The run line and first 5 full game. I'm not going team total, even though I do think they hit. Just want to make sure I've been saying his name correctly. Bello. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to hit Bello in this one. But just going to take the team total. And just going to take the first 5 and the full game run line and the money line in a parlay, which I'll get to after. Nick, Blue Jays, Red Sox, what do you think here?
I'm on the same page as you, and I locked this in even earlier last night. This was the first 2 plays I bet on this entire slate because I mentioned this in the show on Friday. I said that I think that this All-Star break is going to be the Toronto Blue Jays' best friend, and it really has been. And they came out, they played really well in game 1. Obviously, they put up 28 runs. And then the second game, their pitching came out. Manoah was really good yesterday, and they won that game 4-1. My only regret for this series was not taking the full game run line in game 1. Other than that, I've had the first 5 run line in both games. I've had the full game run line yesterday as well, and I'm on both of them again today. I locked in the first 5 run line. I got it at even money last night, and I got plus 115 for the run line. So I beat a nice little line movement there because now on my book, it's minus 105 for the full game run line, and it's minus 120 for the first 5 run line. So I beat a nice 20-cent line movement for the first 5. I beat a 20-cent line movement for the full game. I'm going to back this Jays team. I think that this is a spot where they can potentially go on a run. Kind of interested to see who they play next. They have a day. They don't play tomorrow, and then they're home
St. Louis.
against St. Louis, which should
Then
be a
4
fun
games
little
against
series.
Detroit after that.
So yeah, they should be able to go on a little bit of a run here uh, to potentially put themselves in the top wild card spot or something along those lines. Yeah, I'm gonna look towards the Jays here once again. First 5 and full game run lines.
I forgot to bring this comment up earlier, Isaac. So I'm sorry. Of course, I figure out now at this time, but that's because another comment came through. But rest in peace to the Boston Red Sox. I don't say rest in peace. Maybe to this season, but Boston maybe should be looking towards the future.
They'll
I
finish
think
last this year, watch, and then they'll win the World Series next year.
a retool would be good for them. I think they'll be
Yeah,
sellers here.
he needs starting pitching.
Yeah. Cardinals got some players staying home in that Toronto trip. Doesn't surprise me. Every team that comes into Toronto has unvaccinated players, which is totally their decision. I'm not going to get into that.
Which is a massive home field advantage for Toronto. Which is why they're 30 and 19 at home. Is that they get the benefit of playing in Toronto and Canada as well, which is good for Toronto backers.
Exactly. But we'll move on to a bum fight. Texas is at Oakland in this one. I kind of stayed off this series so far, but I think was it you or Tim that said this on your show earlier? Teams, I think you both said it at different times on different shows, but players are going to want to perform to get traded out of places that they are currently playing. And I'm pretty sure Perez in Texas knows that he's not heading to the playoffs this year. But he has been good all year long. And I know there are teams that are definitely going to be calling Texas for him. And if Texas is smart, they will go and try to get prospects, younger players for the future. And I think they should move Perez. And I think he comes out here and plays well against an Oakland team, Oakland Athletics. And we all know their offense can at times have little spurts of offense, but for the most part, they are a bad offensive team. So I like Texas first 5 minus a half, which you can currently get at plus 110, plus 105 in some spots. I got it for plus 110. I like Texas to be leading after the first 5 in this one. Blackburn, who was previously pretty good on the year, has had 2 really rough starts here against Houston and in Texas, where he gave up 7 hits against Houston, 3 hits against Texas, but 5 earned runs against Texas, 6 earned runs against Houston. He had 4 walks in his last game against Texas. So he's kind of heading downhill. And I like Texas first 5 here, backing Perez. I think it's a good spot. Nick, Rangers Athletics, what do you think here?
It's a bum fight with an all-star level starting pitching matchup. Literally, both these pitchers made the all-star game. I'm on the first 5 under 3.5 in this one here. I don't like the offenses for either, the way either offenses are clicking right now, especially Oakland. And I think both these pitchers are 2 solid pitchers. When you look at and then there's an interesting market move on this game as well. I've noticed that most of the money, most of the tickets came in on the over, but yet this has dropped a whole run. Usually it's just a half a run, but this went from 8 to 7. So kind of interesting line movement there. So I'm kind of feeling a little bit of an under in this game. So I'm on the under 3.5 for the first 5.
All right. Moving on along. Bet Stamp. Use code WILD when signing up. Make sure to find the best lines for your betting. Obviously, whatever books you have access to. I remember the old days before I was able to look at all these different books. Some lines that I was getting and other people hearing the lines that they were getting. I was like, wow, that kind of sucks. But now, obviously, I shot for the best line before I make my bet. So make sure to find the best odds available to you and use code WILD when signing up. Here, We'll go to last pitch before we get to the football game, the CFL game. The Cubs-Phillies game, which obviously started 15 minutes ago, was a complete pass for me. I had no interest in it. At this point of the year and going forward for the rest of baseball season, there are going to be games where I'm just going to automatically pass because there's no reason to force action on some games. And I don't feel like throwing a dart across the room blindfolded, hoping that it hits. So there are certain games that I'm going to pass. Cubs Phillies was one of them. Angels Braves. This Braves team, yes, I can be probably a little bit high on them, but they have won for me quite often. I'm going right back to them here. Throughout the year, this Atlanta and Dodgers moneyline parlay has been cashing for me throughout the season. I'm adding Toronto to that for plus 253. So Atlanta, Toronto, and LA Dodgers all on the money line for plus 253. I have a full unit on this parlay. I really like it. Detmers against Anderson. Ian Anderson, one of the few Braves pitchers that I wanted to not back when he was on the mound. But he's turned things around here in his last two games, obviously against Washington. So you have to take that for what it is. He went 5.1 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 7 walks in the 2 games. So he's got to keep that down a little bit. The game before that against St. Louis, another win, 8 hits, 1 earned run. So he's been pitching better than earlier on in the year. And not getting a lot of strikeouts, 5 in his last 2 games. So not a strikeout prop I was looking at. But I do like the Braves to win this game. So I obviously have their money line in a parlay. And I saw in a comment on your show, Nick, that Trout is out today.
He's been out.
Yeah, he's been out for a while. This Angels team, what motivation do they have in this? I don't really see any motivation from them to come out here and try to win this game. Obviously, every player wants to win, but certain teams and certain players' mindsets are much different than others. And I'm sure Atlanta, looking at the Mets just above them in the standings, I'm sure that they're probably a little bit more motivated than LA, who basically has no chance this year. So I do like the Braves there. Going on along, Yankees and Orioles, Cortez against Kramer. Whew, that's a hard game. The Yankees have not been playing well as of late, for the most part. Orioles, that huge hot streak, and kind of been about 50-50 here since then. So not really sure to back them or to fade them, the Orioles, right now. Same with the Yankees. So that game was ultimately a pass. If I had to get anything, I'd probably be looking at the first 5 under, depending on what that is, but not going to force anything there. Mikolas against Molly, Cardinals Reds. That's an interesting game. I'm happy to see that Mikolas is pitching today, which means he will not be pitching Tuesday or Wednesday against the Jays. But in this matchup here, it would be a lean with the Cardinals, but not really getting to it. Twins Tigers, Sonny Gray against Ronny Garcia. Sonny Gray has come back down to earth his last few starts and has not really pitched very well. I guess he's facing the Tigers, but this Ronny Garcia guy has done really well. In his last 3 starts, all wins, San Francisco, Arizona, and Texas. In his last 2 games, he only gave up 1 earned run in both games, 3 earned runs against Texas. So he's pitched pretty well as of late. So it'll be kind of a lean with Detroit, but Twins against righties have been pretty good, so I could see the Twins getting some runs, so I'm staying off there. Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Springs and Bubick. No interest in this. I want Kansas City to win, obviously, as a Jays fan, with the Rays right there in the playoffs and the standings with them. I could see Bubick having a good game, but I'm not willing to put my money on it. Guardians, White Sox. I'm on the first 5 under 4 in this one, which I got at plus 100. Bieber against Cease. I'm going to trust Bieber to keep it under 3 runs, and I trust Cease to be one or less runs as well. Basically, on what he's done, he's pitched so well as of late. Rockies and Brewers, Chad Kuhl against Eric Lauer. I want to back Milwaukee in this one. Chad Kuhl made me a lot of money earlier on in the year, but not so much lately. Eric Lauer was, again, really good at the beginning of the year. Had a rough patch, but has got kind of back on the track here. So Brewers might be a later addition for me. Nationals, Diamondbacks, no interest. Houston, Houston and Seattle, Valdez against Ray. It would be a lean with the under in this one. I may get to some kind of under, but no real opinion on the side. I could see it going either way. Both pitchers have been great. Giants and Dodgers, Cobb against Kershaw. I obviously have Dodgers in my 3-team money line parlay. I like them to kind of continue on here. Kershaw's pitched well as of late. Getting up the stats here. He's won his last 2 games against the Angels and the Cubs. I gave up 1 earned run against the Cubs, no earned runs against the Angels. And in his previous game before that against San Diego, no earned runs there either. Only 1 walk in the 3 games. Might be looking at his strikeout prop. He has 6 against the Angels, 10 against the Cubs, 8 against San Diego. So I might take a look here after the show. So another reason, follow me at Let's Go Wild Picks on BetStamp for any late edition picks that I make. But just going to be backing Kershaw and the Dodgers on the money line for now. And the Sunday night game, Musgrove against Carrasco, Padres and Mets. I want to back Musgrove, but I do not like how he's pitched as of late. Carrasco, much better at home than on the road. He's at home. I would expect the Mets to not want to get swept at home, and I would expect them to come out here with a good performance. So this game is ultimately a pass for me at this point of time. Kind of see how the rest of the early games go. I may be backing San Diego in some spot later on, but not super confident in it. Nick, last pitch. Anything else in baseball you want to give out? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'll run through the rest of the games too. I took a shot here. I must really, really like Payne, but I'm on the Angels in the first 5 innings at plus 150. I don't mind Reed Detmers. And Ian Anderson is not someone that I think should be laying minus 200 versus anybody. So I'm gonna take a shot here. Probably gonna regret it, but I'm on the Angels in the first 5. I passed on the Yankees and the Orioles. I passed on the Tigers and the Twins. Didn't really have too much of a feel on that one. Lean first 5 under with the Cardinals and the Reds. Did not bet that one. I did take the first 5 under 4.5 with the Royals and the Rays. And I also have the White Sox first 5 full game run lines with Dylan Cease. Shane Bieber has not been the same Shane Bieber this year as he has been in previous years. I lean first 5 under with Colorado, Milwaukee. I lean first 5 under again with the Washington Nationals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. I lean Giants strictly for the price because I don't know if the Giants should be plus 200 in this game or plus 195. I feel like that's a little bit outrageous. I get it. The Dodgers have been playing really well. And one thing that's kind of terrifying is the Dodgers start a 3-game home series against the Nationals coming up. And I can already tell that the Dodgers are about to be minus 300 for every single one of those games. But I'm also leaning first 5 under with the Mariners and the Astros, and I'm actually leaning a little bit towards the over with the Mets and the Padres tonight. Musgrove and Carrasco have not been the greatest as of late, and I'm expecting some positive regression from these 2 offenses, who I believe at one point in the series were 0 for 20 with runners in scoring position. That's not going to continue, I don't think. And I think Musgrove, you're seeing that name probably keep this total down a little bit, even though it's an 8, which is kind of surprising because we rarely see 8s with Musgrove on the mound and Carrasco. So I think that's kind of telling you that they think this game goes over. So I lean over in that last game of the night for Sunday Night Baseball.
All right. And then we'll get to the CFL game. The Argonauts are in Saskatchewan facing the Rough Riders. bring up the current stats here. We'll see the comment. Oh, back to Cupid's comment. Why passing them on Philly and Cubs? Because I didn't have. Well, yeah, the game has started, but the reason why I didn't get to it before the show is just not real an opinion. No real opinion for me. I can't really get a feel of those two teams right now. And Justin is parlayed Miami and the under for a unit. Good luck.
Hate that.
Yeah, the under, the way these teams have been playing, and they definitely have the better starting pitcher in Alcantara. So this game here, Saskatchewan and Toronto, you can find the Argonauts anywhere from minus 125 to minus 135 or minus 139. So pretty similar odds around. Saskatchewan plus 102 to plus 110. So again, and then if you look at the spread, minus 1.5. I see a couple minus 2.5, minus 2s. And the total 45 and a half. So most CFL games, there is a lot more of a variation from book to book, but the books are kind of aligned here in today's game. I'm taking a shot with the home dog. I know they have a lot of injuries right now, including at quarterback, but I just think at home here against the Argonauts, who are not a very good team, I think it's a great price at the plus 110. Will I be shocked if Toronto wins this game? No, I won't. But with the prices at it is a plus 110, Saskatchewan being at home, I think it's a good spot for them. I think they'll squeak. I have this feeling in my head, 17 to 16. That's just what something's telling me. We might see like a 17 to 16 game. I think it's going to be really close, and I do think the under might be a good look too. Which I may have to look at after the show as well. But I like the Rough Riders to get upset win. I guess being a plus 110 isn't really a huge upset, but they're underdogs.
It's a dog win. It's a dog win.
Exactly. Nick, Argonauts, Rough Riders. What do you think here?
Yeah, this line opened up, or I want to say Rough Riders minus 6.5, 6. And this line is obviously dropped. Then there's a reason why they played it. They're playing this game tonight instead of yesterday. COVID issues in the camp of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Here are the players that you're probably going to that are not going to be seen today. Cody Fajardo, starting quarterback. Also, they have Mason Fine, which is their backup quarterback, questionable for today. Duke Williams out, wide receiver. Garrett Marino, defensive tackle, is going to be out. Pete Robertson, defensive end, is going to be out. They're also going to be missing, trying to find, there we go. Shaq Evans, wide receiver, is out. Dan Clark, their center, is out. Tiates, linebacker, out. And Onyeka, their defensive back, is also out. On the other side, we are going to see the Argonauts without Nick Castro, their starting center. Eric Rogers, a wide receiver, and Juwan Briskanen, another wide receiver. So a lot of injuries on the a lot of players missing today. And I think that personnel loss is going to really hurt offensively in this game. We saw these two teams play last week, and Toronto won and the game went over. And the only reason the game went over was because the Rough Riders threw a pick six at the end of the game that pushed the game over. That game should have gone on under last week, and I think it goes under this week. I got the under 45 in this game. The Riders are more of an under team in general, and now without potentially their top two starting quarterbacks, I think that's going to hurt even more. I would also lean towards a Rough Riders team total under in this game. You'll probably see that around 22.5, 23. I personally do not have that on my book right now. I'm waiting for them to put it up. I think they haven't put it up because they still need to know who's starting for Saskatchewan. But I like the under more than anything in this game. I have a feeling that we're going to see Saskatchewan struggle to put up points in this spot. So I'm going to go with the under here in this one with all the personnel missing.
All right. Can't talk you off that. We will go to the best bet segment, and we'll actually start a little bit differently. We'll start with over or under now. Just switch things up a little bit because it's on the other side of the spreadsheet, so it makes sense to start with this one. We'll start with over under. For me, Cleveland, White Sox, first five under 4. Nick, you're going Miami, first five under 4. Is that actually a 4?
I bet it at 4. It's gone down to a 3.5.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, oh my god, that's like that's kind of crazy to get that.
I got it
Tim,
4 minus 125 last night.
all right. Tim going Oakland, Texas, under 7.5 full game. And Dave is going. He said in his when he sent me his best bets, he's like pretty similar from yesterday, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I guess Houston, Seattle, first 5 under 3.5, and the first 5 for Dave. We'll go on to dog of the day. For me, Saskatchewan Roughriders, the only dog that I am on today. So they are my dog of the day. Nick, you're going with the Angels. Tim going with the Baltimore Orioles. And Dave is going right back to the Oakland Athletics as his dog of the day. Best bets, best parlay pieces, and we'll start with parlay piece. For me, Toronto Blue Jays money line, going right back to it. It's my favorite parlay piece of the day. Same with Dave. He's also going Blue Jays money line. Nick, you're going to take White Sox money line. And Tim is going to go Seattle plus 1.5. And then best bets for me, my 3-team parlay is going to be my best bet today. It's the bet that I like the most today. So that's why I'm choosing it. Only have 1 unit on it, so I'm going to risk 1 unit here for best bets. Atlanta, Toronto, Dodgers, all on the money line. Nick, you're going White Sox minus 1.5 for 2 units.
Yep.
Tim is going Baltimore money line for 2 units. And Dave is going to go right back to Toronto first 5 minus 0.5, minus 110 for 1 unit. So that is the show. Best of luck to everybody today. If you're watching on Twitter, come watch us on YouTube. We'd love to have you in the comments. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. The first NHL team preview show is in a month yesterday. Is a month in 1 month from yesterday. So it's coming along quick. And then the NFL season preview show, which will be the day before preseason starts, August 10th, is coming close as well. So make sure to tune into that. Lots of content in the future. But best of luck to everybody on your bets today. And we'll see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode again of Well with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.